A lot of people have heard their coaches tell them to relax, 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 relax. People fast them say relax, 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 and it's if you're not into this, you're gonna just look at them like, how exactly am I supposed to relax whilst I'm sprinting? Am I supposed to be real tense, putting a lot of force into the ground? And if you know anything about sprinting, then you already know that's not true. When you're sprinting, when you're in the drive phase and trying to come out of it, that's the most tense you're ever going to be. And you're allowed to be tense because you're actually using your muscles to try and move you forwards with every single step you take up until the stretch shortening cycle becomes the predominant force output. And now it's just your tendons moving you forwards, not your muscles. The problem is people who don't understand how to relax properly think that sprinting is done purely by their muscles. That's not true. It's almost done purely by your tendons. Most of the steps you take whilst you're sprinting are done by your tendons, not your muscles. Your muscles just gave you a little push. Then your tendons sped you up and helped you keep that speed. With muscles, you can tense. As hard as you want, the harder you tense, the further you're going to go. But with tendons, you need to stay relaxed and let them do their work, which is why you need to learn how to relax. The question is, how do I relax? Well, the question is, how do I relax and when do I relax? Because you don't relax at the start of the race because that's stupid, but you don't want to relax right at the end of the race because that's too late. So, when do you relax? Let's start with that question. First of all, obviously during acceleration, you're using your muscles, but as you get out of your acceleration more, out of your drive phase more, switch to your tendons. If you want to relax, the easiest way to know when to relax is, okay, when does it feel like if I was to try to start walking, I wouldn't fall over? Or if I was just to stop, I wouldn't fall over. I just like trip a bit. That's roughly around where you know you need to relax because when you're using your muscles, you're in your drive phase, you're looking down, and if you just were to stop suddenly, you'd fall face flat and your body would just feel uncomfortable doing that. But if you was to stop close to coming out of your drive phase or you're already out of your drive phase, your feet would just do a little couple of steps and then you just be upright. That's when you need to relax, when you're upright or close to being upright. Because now you're not producing any force from your muscles. All the force you're producing now is from your tendons. And like I said, your tendons don't really perform well when you're tense. They perform well when you're loose because then they're able to flow as easily as they possibly would want. So they're able to propel you forwards. Because if you relax, you'll realize, if you relax and learn how to relax, you realize that your top speed is actually slightly slower than what your actual top speed could be. But because you don't relax, you're not aware of this. As long as you start to learn to relax, you're going to realize that you're able to get much faster. With just this little change, you'll be able to get much faster. When you relax is roughly when you come out of the dry phase, so maybe like 40 meters, 40 to 50 meters, depending on how long you can hold your dry phase for. Once you're out of your dry phase, you just want to focus on spinning your legs, obviously, but you want to do this whilst relaxed. If you tense up, you're not really going to get anywhere. Just focus on your form and just spin your legs. Don't focus on putting force into the ground because if you do that, you're going to slow down because your ground contact time is going to increase. And whenever ground contact times increase, you slow down because whenever your foot touches the ground, it's like a braking force. It is a braking force, actually. So you're going to slow down, which is why the fastest sprinters have lower ground contact times than you do because they were able to keep their fast, not just ground contact times, but fastest times because they were able to keep their ground contact times low. So they have less time whilst they're braking so they can move faster. Once you get into this period where you're relaxed, you want to hold that for the rest of the race. Now, there's a problem with this. The problem is when you're relaxed, if you're not winning the race or it looks like someone's going to catch up to you, it's really, really easy to just start to tense up to try and move faster. Don't do that. It's hard. I know it's hard, but don't do that. Because if you do that, ground contact time is going to increase. You're going to spend more time braking. You're going to end up getting slower. They're going to pass you. Because when you're relaxed, you obviously you won't think about this consciously, but you need to understand, whilst I don't feel like I'm doing much, I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot more than they are if they're tense. Reason being is you don't know you don't know what speed your competition's max velocity is. You don't know how fast you don't know what their max speed is. You don't know when they've hit their max speed. You don't know how long they can hit their max speed for. You don't control them. You can control you, which means you can control when you hit your top speed. You can kind of control how long you maintain yourself in your top speed. And as long as you stay relaxed, you can control how long you stay at or close to your top speed. This is where you start to decelerate. If you tense up, you're going to decelerate early. If you don't tense up, you're going to decelerate late. It's going to seem like you're still speeding up, but in reality, everyone else has started to decelerate earlier than you have, or your top speed is just higher than everyone else's because you stayed relaxed. So you're able to just slow down, but at a slower rate because your numbers are just going down slower. So like, let's say you use Usain Bolt and you could run at 40 kilometers per hour. Not 40 kilometers, yeah, 40 kilometers per hour. But everyone else was running at 35. They're going to decelerate from there. So 35, 34, 33. But you're going to go 39, 38, 37. You're still moving faster than they are. So it's going to seem like you're pulling away when in reality you're just decelerating. But at the same rate technically, but slower, yeah. Problem why this is also another reason why this is hard is purely because you don't know where your opponent's top speed is. You don't know where their max velocity is. So what could end up happening is you're relaxed and your opponent isn't, your competition isn't, but their top speed is higher than yours. So they just pass you. There's not really much you can do about that at the end of the day. You can only focus on yourself. And if you are sprinting, obviously winning is great. But if you're just trying to get your times down, don't focus on your competition. Focus on your times, especially your times. So that eventually you can be that guy as well. Though you don't want to be tense because he could have moved much faster if he wasn't tense. But as long as you just stay relaxed and you just focus on yourself, what you can control, you're going to be able to just move much faster. And hey, if you stay relaxed, you might even enter the flow state. Who knows?